Ladies and gentlemen, in life, some hearts are born extraordinary. They are sensitive, compassionate, and deeply connected to Allah in ways that most cannot understand. These chosen souls carry a weight that is both a blessing and a test. Allah reminds us in the Quran, and we will surely test you with something of fear and hunger and a loss of wealth and lives and fruits, but give good tidings to the patient. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:155. The hearts that are closest to him are often the ones that experience love differently, sometimes delayed, sometimes hidden, sometimes tested in ways that shake the very core of their being. The pain of waiting is one of the greatest lessons for chosen souls. True love, the kind that aligns with your destiny, does not arrive hastily. It is a gift, carefully timed by Allah, appearing when hearts are prepared and souls are ready. A young woman once cried over repeated heartbreaks, feeling as though love had abandoned her. Yet years later, she met a partner whose character, faith, and values reflected every prayer she had whispered in secret. The delays and disappointments were not punishments but preparations, shaping her heart to recognize and embrace the love she truly deserved. Every moment of waiting is a sign that Allah is orchestrating a greater plan, far beyond what the heart can perceive. Signs often arrive during the struggle, hidden in heartbreak, longing, and moments of despair. Allah speaks through what seems like absence, using trials to refine character, build patience, and awaken spiritual awareness. A young man who faced repeated betrayals in relationships later realized that each heartbreak was a shield, protecting him from partners whose intentions were not aligned with Allah's wisdom. Just as the Quran teaches, and it may be that you dislike a thing which is good for you, and that you love a thing which is bad for you. Allah knows while you know not. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:216. The struggles are not meaningless. They are divine signs guiding you toward what is truly meant for you, refining the heart to receive love that is pure, blessed, and enduring. Trust in Allah's plan becomes the anchor during these times. It is easy to feel despair when love seems distant or unattainable, but surrendering to divine wisdom transforms waiting into worship. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "If you were to rely upon Allah with the reliance He is due, you would be given provision like the birds. They go out hungry in the morning and return full in the evening." Similarly, placing trust in Allah regarding matters of the heart allows peace to flourish, turning anxiety into hope. Every trial, every tear, and every moment of longing is part of a divine design, preparing the soul for a love that is not only beautiful but divinely appointed. Preparing your heart for love requires patience, gratitude, and inner alignment. It is not enough to desire love. The soul must be ready to give and receive it in a manner that reflects sincerity, faith, and spiritual maturity. Acts of kindness, prayer, self-reflection, and personal growth purify the heart, making it a vessel capable of holding the profound love Allah has destined. Consider the story of Prophet Joseph, peace be upon him, whose patience, integrity, and unwavering faith guided him to blessings beyond his imagination. The love and companionship that come into our lives mirror this divine orchestration, arriving when we are truly prepared to honor, cherish, and sustain it. Chosen souls are tested not to break them but to awaken them. The absence of love, the heartbreaks, and the challenges are all signs that Allah is guiding you to something far greater than fleeting affection. Trust Him completely, remain steadfast in patience, and prepare your heart for the blessings that are already on their way. When the right love finally arrives, it will resonate with every fiber of your being, a gift perfectly timed by the Most Merciful, and a testament to the divine wisdom that governs your destiny. Some hearts are not like others. They feel more deeply, love more profoundly, and perceive the world with a sensitivity that often sets them apart. These are the chosen souls, the ones who carry an inner light that attracts blessings and trials in equal measure. Being chosen is both a blessing and a burden because Allah entrusts these hearts with heightened awareness, empathy, and spiritual responsibility. The Quran reminds us, "And we will surely test you with something of fear and hunger and a loss of wealth and lives and fruits, but give good tidings to the patient." Surah Al-Baqarah 2:155. The extraordinary souls who are closest to Allah often face extraordinary tests, not because they are weak, but because their hearts are capable of withstanding more, capable of holding more, and capable of loving more deeply than most. Being chosen means that life does not follow the ordinary path. Simple relationships, fleeting connections, and shallow experiences rarely satisfy these hearts. They yearn for depth, sincerity, and divine alignment in all aspects of their lives, particularly in matters of love. A young woman who had always been deeply spiritual struggled for years to find a partner whose faith and character matched her devotion. She faced repeated heartbreaks, rejections, and disappointments that left her questioning herself and her path. Yet these experiences were not punishments but divine refinements. Each trial shaped her discernment, her patience, and her understanding of what true meaningful love entails. The chosen hearts are often tested because ordinary experiences cannot contain the extraordinary blessings Allah has destined for them. The burden of being chosen is not just emotional but also spiritual. These souls feel the weight of expectation, not societal, but divine. Their hearts are attuned to Allah, and this attunement heightens their awareness of injustice, dishonesty, and insincerity around them. Ordinary relationships or casual connections feel hollow, while the subtleties of true intention and character are magnified. A young man who had a deep connection with Allah found himself repeatedly hurt by those who did not understand or respect his values. Each failed connection initially brought pain, but over time it became a lesson in discernment and steadfastness. Allah tests the chosen hearts because He knows that only those who endure the trials can fully appreciate and sustain the profound love and blessings He has prepared for them. The blessing of being chosen lies in the eventual reward. These hearts, despite their struggles, are being groomed for experiences and relationships that ordinary souls cannot access. Every heartbreak, every moment of waiting, and every trial carries a hidden lesson: patience, resilience, and trust in Allah's timing. Life may seem harsh at times, yet for these souls the trials are not random, they are carefully orchestrated signs pointing toward divine alignment. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Wondrous is the affair of the believer, for there is good for him in every matter, and this is not the case with anyone except the believer. If he experiences happiness, he thanks Allah, and that is good for him, and if he suffers adversity, he perseveres, and that is good for him." Chosen hearts are blessed because even in trials they are in a state of spiritual gain, growing closer to Allah and preparing for what He has destined. Being chosen also requires an extraordinary level of patience and faith. These souls must understand that the timing of love, blessings, and fulfillment is not determined by their own desires but by Allah's wisdom. A woman longing for companionship may experience repeated disappointments, yet each moment of waiting is a preparation for a love that is perfectly aligned with her soul. Similarly, a man who repeatedly encounters failed relationships is being guided by signs and experiences that will eventually lead him to a partner who complements not only his life but his purpose. The chosen heart learns to embrace the duality of blessing and burden, understanding that the trials are as much a gift as the joys. The pain of waiting is one of the most profound tests for chosen souls. For those hearts that are destined to experience love in a way that aligns with Allah's divine plan, waiting is never easy. It stretches patience, tests resolve, and challenges faith. Many hearts that are extraordinary, sensitive, and deeply spiritual feel the weight of loneliness and longing more intensely than others. The Quran reminds us, "O you who have believed, seek help through patience and prayer. Indeed, Allah is with the patient." Surah Al-Baqarah 2:153. Patience is not merely a passive act, it is an active engagement of the heart, a conscious surrender to Allah's timing, and a recognition that what has been delayed is not denied but carefully reserved for the right moment. Waiting in love is often accompanied by confusion and heartbreak. A young man who had prayed for years for a partner who shared his faith and values faced repeated disappointments, each experience leaving him questioning his path. Rejection, betrayal, and unfulfilled hopes can feel unbearable. Yet each moment is a divine calibration, preparing the heart for the person and the love that is truly meant to enter its life. These delays are not signs of absence or neglect, but are moments in which the soul is refined, where patience, understanding, and self-awareness grow. A young woman who longed for companionship experienced multiple heartbreaks, but each encounter taught her more about herself, her values, and what she truly needed in a partner. By the time she met her destined companion, she was fully equipped to recognize and cherish the love Allah had prepared for her, a love that was deep, pure, and enduring. The pain of waiting also highlights the depth and sensitivity of chosen hearts. Ordinary experiences cannot satisfy them, because their souls crave authenticity, spiritual alignment, and depth of character. When love does not arrive immediately, it can feel like a personal failure or a divine rejection, but in reality, these moments are opportunities for growth. The heart learns to trust, to observe, and to discern what aligns with Allah's will. Each delay is a reminder that love is not merely an emotion to be rushed, it is a sacred gift, a divine arrangement that requires preparation, patience, and readiness. Signs often accompany the waiting, subtle indicators that Allah is guiding the heart along the path toward its destined companion. Perhaps a chance meeting, a recurring thought, a dream, or a feeling of deep pull towards someone or something signals that the heart is nearing what it has been longing for. A young man who felt lost after repeated heartbreaks noticed a series of coincidences: a mutual friend connecting him with someone he had admired from afar, conversations that revealed shared values, and moments that seemed orchestrated by divine timing. These subtle signs remind the chosen soul that while waiting may be painful, it is purposeful, and Allah's wisdom is actively shaping the path to fulfillment. The pain of waiting is also an exercise in surrender and trust. It forces the heart to relinquish control, to accept that not everything will unfold according to human desire or timing. A student who longed for a partner met several people who seemed promising but ultimately were not aligned with her spiritual values. Each experience, while painful, strengthened her reliance on Allah, teaching her that the right love would arrive not when she demanded it but when Allah decreed it. Patience and faith transform the agony of waiting into an opportunity for spiritual growth, refining the heart to receive a love that is divinely aligned. Moreover, the waiting period strengthens gratitude, humility, and awareness. The heart begins to value the depth and purity of love over superficial attraction. It learns that true connection is not instant gratification but the harmonious alignment of souls prepared by Allah's wisdom. By enduring the pain of waiting, the chosen soul cultivates resilience, discernment, and spiritual maturity, ensuring that when love finally arrives, it is recognized, cherished, and nurtured in accordance with divine guidance. One of the most profound truths for chosen souls is that struggle is never meaningless. The heartbreak, the longing, the moments of doubt, and the tears are all signs from Allah, guiding the heart toward what is truly meant for it. These signs often arrive in ways that are subtle, sometimes hidden within the very trials that feel unbearable. The Quran reminds us, "Do not lose hope, nor be sad. You will surely be victorious if you are true believers." Surah Al-Imran 3:139. In the midst of emotional pain, chosen hearts must learn to see beyond immediate sorrow, understanding that every challenge carries a divine lesson, a subtle direction, or a preparation for blessings that are yet to unfold. The signs in struggle often appear as moments of clarity amidst confusion. A young woman, grieving yet hopeful, found herself repeatedly encountering passages from the Quran that spoke directly to her situation, verses about patience, trust, and divine timing. These moments were not coincidences, they were Allah's way of communicating reassurance, reminding her that although her heart was heavy, the path she was on was leading to what she was destined to receive. Similarly, a young man who faced repeated betrayal in relationships began to notice patterns in his experiences, lessons about discernment, understanding, and the importance of sincerity. These were subtle signs, showing him that his struggles were shaping him into a person ready for a love that would not only fulfill him emotionally, but align with his spiritual values. Struggle often magnifies the soul's sensitivity, enabling chosen hearts to perceive guidance that ordinary hearts may overlook. The heartbreaks, delays, and disappointments sharpen intuition, refine judgment, and awaken an inner awareness that is essential for recognizing true love when it arrives. A woman who endured years of unrequited love found that through each disappointment, she became more attuned to the qualities she needed in a partner: honesty, faith, patience, and compassion. Each trial was a lesson, a divine sign pointing toward what was appropriate and what was merely temporary or misleading. The struggles themselves were shaping her into the person who could sustain the deep, meaningful love Allah had destined for her. Signs in struggle also serve as tests of faith and resilience. They challenge chosen hearts to remain steadfast, to trust Allah despite uncertainty, and to continue seeking guidance through prayer, reflection, and personal growth. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Wondrous is the affair of the believer, for there is good for him in every matter, and this is not the case with anyone except the believer. If he experiences happiness, he thanks Allah, and that is good for him, and if he suffers adversity, he perseveres, and that is good for him." Chosen souls learn to recognize that even when circumstances appear to be setbacks, these moments are blessings in disguise, guiding them toward a love and life of profound spiritual alignment. The signs are not always grand or obvious. Sometimes they manifest in the smallest, most ordinary events. A casual conversation, a fleeting thought, a recurring dream, or even a feeling of inner peace can signal that the soul is moving closer to its destined connection. A young man who had experienced multiple failed relationships noticed an inexplicable attraction to a charitable community project. That subtle pull led him to meet someone whose values and vision mirrored his own, and eventually, that person became his life partner. These signs often require patience, attentiveness, and the willingness to reflect on life's occurrences with spiritual awareness. Struggle also teaches gratitude for eventual fulfillment. The chosen soul learns to appreciate the depth, sincerity, and divine wisdom behind the love that will eventually arrive. Without the trials, heartbreaks, and waiting periods, the blessings might be overlooked or taken for granted. Each difficulty becomes a stepping stone, a lesson, and a subtle sign from Allah, guiding hearts toward the ultimate reward,
the love that is both meaningful and divinely aligned, waiting to enter life when the soul is ready to receive it. Trusting Allah's plan is one of the most essential steps for chosen souls who experience the trials of love and longing. When the heart has been tested repeatedly, it is easy to feel abandoned, discouraged, or confused. Yet every delay, heartbreak, and disappointment is carefully orchestrated by Allah, and trusting His plan transforms pain into purpose and waiting into spiritual growth. The Quran reminds us, and rely upon Allah, and sufficient is Allah as disposer of affairs. Surah Al-Ahzab 33, reliance upon Allah, or tawakkul, is not passive submission, it is active faith. A conscious surrender that aligns effort, intention, and patience with the understanding that Allah knows what is best for the heart. Many chosen souls struggle with the desire to control the timing and outcome of love. They make plans, set expectations, and imagine scenarios, only to face repeated disappointments. A young woman prayed sincerely for a partner who shared her values, yet her attempts at relationships repeatedly ended in heartbreak. Initially, she questioned herself and her path, but over time, she came to see that each failed connection was a shield, a protection from a life misaligned with her purpose. Allah's plan was guiding her, preparing her heart to recognize the love that would be fully worthy of her devotion, patience, and sincerity. Trusting Allah's plan allows the heart to see these experiences not as setbacks, but as divine refinements. Trust in Allah's wisdom also nurtures patience, a quality that is vital for the soul awaiting love. Patience is not simply enduring time, it is maintaining hope, faith, and spiritual alignment, even when circumstances seem discouraging. A young man, frustrated by repeated failed relationships, found solace in prayer, reflection, and personal growth. Through these practices, he discovered that patience was shaping his character, refining his values, and preparing him for a connection that was not only emotionally fulfilling, but spiritually aligned. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "If you were to rely upon Allah with the reliance He is due, you would be given provision like the birds. They go out hungry in the morning, and return full in the evening." Just as birds trust in Allah for sustenance, the chosen heart must trust in Allah for guidance, timing, and the fulfillment of its desires and love. Trusting Allah's plan also encourages the heart to look for the lessons hidden in struggle. Every heartbreak, disappointment, and period of waiting carries a divine purpose. A woman who faced years of unreciprocated affection eventually reflected on her experiences and realized that each one taught her discernment, self-respect, and spiritual alignment. By trusting in Allah's plan, she learned that the love she had been seeking was never lost. It was being prepared and aligned in ways beyond her immediate perception. Faith allows the soul to embrace delays and challenges as opportunities for growth, rather than punishments. Understanding that Allah's wisdom surpasses human comprehension. Another aspect of trust is surrendering attachment to outcomes. The heart often clings to desires, expecting them to unfold in a specific way, but divine timing does not operate according to human expectation. A young man longed for a particular person, believing that only this connection would fulfill him. Repeated setbacks and eventual separation were painful, but they ultimately guided him to someone whose character, values, and faith aligned perfectly with his own. Trusting Allah's plan requires the heart to release rigid expectations and embrace uncertainty, knowing that what is destined for it will arrive in the perfect moment. Trust transforms anxiety into serenity. When the heart relies on Allah, it experiences peace even amidst confusion and longing. It understands that setbacks are temporary, guidance is present, and divine wisdom governs every detail of life. Chosen souls learn that love is not merely about timing, attraction, or circumstances. It is about alignment with Allah's plan, which ensures that when love arrives, it is pure, meaningful, and enduring. Every trial, delay, and heartbreak is a sign that Allah is preparing the heart to recognize, cherish, and sustain the love that is truly meant for it. Preparing for the love you deserve is the final and most transformative step for chosen souls who have endured waiting, heartbreak, and struggle. True love is not a matter of chance or timing that we control. It is a divine gift from Allah, carefully orchestrated to arrive when hearts are ready and souls are aligned. The Quran reminds us, "And those who strive for us, we will surely guide them to our ways." And indeed, Allah is with the doers of good. Surah Al-Ankabut 29:69. Preparing the heart, mind, and soul ensures that when love arrives, it is received with gratitude, maturity, and spiritual readiness, allowing the blessing to grow and flourish in accordance with Allah's wisdom. Preparing for love begins with self-awareness and reflection. The chosen soul must understand their own values, desires, and boundaries. Heartbreaks, waiting periods, and past experiences offer crucial lessons about character, integrity, and what is truly compatible with one's spiritual and emotional needs. A young woman who had faced multiple failed relationships spent time understanding her own soul, her faith, and the qualities she sought in a partner. This self-reflection allowed her to approach future connections with clarity, confidence, and discernment. Preparing the heart is not just about hoping for the right person, it is about actively shaping oneself to be worthy of the love that Allah has destined. Spiritual alignment is a critical part of preparation. The heart must be attuned to Allah, cultivating patience, gratitude, and trust. A young man who longed for companionship dedicated himself to prayer, reading Quran, and acts of charity. Through these practices, he purified his intentions and strengthened his faith, becoming a person capable of giving love that is sincere, patient, and guided by divine wisdom. Preparing the soul in this way ensures that when love arrives, it is not merely an emotional connection, but a relationship that enriches both hearts spiritually, emotionally, and morally. Another aspect of preparation involves healing past wounds and letting go of attachments that may hinder future blessings. Chosen souls often carry the weight of heartbreaks, disappointments, and unfulfilled desires. And while these experiences are part of divine preparation, they can leave scars that obstruct the ability to fully embrace new love. By forgiving, reflecting, and releasing what no longer serves the heart, one creates space for Allah's blessings to enter. A woman who had been hurt in past relationships initially struggled with fear and mistrust, but through patience, prayer, and self-reflection, she healed her heart. This inner work allowed her to approach new love without baggage, open to the profound connection that awaited her. Developing emotional resilience is also essential. Chosen souls must understand that love, like all blessings, requires patience, humility, and endurance. Preparing for love means being ready to navigate challenges, miscommunications, and the natural ebb and flow of relationships while maintaining trust in Allah's guidance. A man who faced repeated disappointments in his search for a partner learned through each experience how to cultivate patience, empathy, and understanding. These qualities, developed through trials, equipped him to embrace a love that was not only deeply compatible, but also divinely aligned. Finally, preparing for the love you deserve involves actively engaging with life and opportunities, while trusting Allah's timing. The heart must remain vigilant for signs, subtle cues, and moments that guide it toward the destined connection. A young woman, after years of waiting and reflection, recognized the arrival of a partner through a series of coincidences, shared values, and divine timing that felt unmistakably guided. This preparation, the combination of self-awareness, spiritual alignment, healing, and resilience, ensures that when love enters, it is embraced fully, nurtured wisely, and honored as the divine gift it is meant to be. Chosen souls must remember that preparation is ongoing, a continuous process of refinement, patience, and trust. By aligning themselves internally and spiritually, they create a heart that is receptive, capable, and ready for the love that Allah has destined, ensuring that when it finally arrives, it becomes a profound blessing, a source of joy, and a testimony to the wisdom and mercy of the most compassionate